Welcome back to another episode of the Meet Kevin and Mikey Show. That's what we got to call it. The MKM.
No objections.
There we go. Awesome. Welcome back. We are talking Tesla's major recall today. Many of you have probably heard about it. We'll talk about that. Tax credit changes, Uber changes with Tesla, which is kind of crazy. Some special discounts for December. I think this quarter's kind of going to suck, but Tesla's trying to do some pretty cool things to try to minimize that. We'll talk Optimus a little bit. Elon University. What? And hopefully that doesn't end like Trump University. Oh, now that's why'd you have to make it political, Kevin?
Elon Steaks. That's next.
Elon Steaks, yes. We've got AI, Biden, other things to talk about today. Welcome aboard, and it's Fed Day. Wow, Fed Day today. You know, I wish we could have Fed days like this every day. You know, it's been 2 years. 2 years of the Fed turning evil. That's basically what it's been, because 2 years ago was that Fed meeting where the Fed flipped and they're like, oh, it's not transitory. Oh, they're like Luigi. Yeah, Luigi's. Oh, yeah. That was 2 years ago. It's actually really crazy to think it's been 2 years, quite frankly, of mostly hell and disappointment in the stock market. So first of all, like, congratulations to you if you've been in the stock market for surviving, like physically. Yeah, you know, I know the stock market's been rough the last 2 years, but I'm so optimistic about what we have going into the future. And even I saw Adobe's earnings came out, by the way. They were complaining about a slowdown. I posted about that at my new little project we'll touch on. But Adobe mentioned that artificial intelligence will be slow to generate revenues for them. And this is exactly why I despise the software companies for AI. I don't actually think that you're going to see massive AI revenues at these software companies anytime soon. They've really got to prove the AI is useful so far. Like, it's cool that, like, now WordPress or Notion or whatever says use AI button, but it's not highly practical or functional yet. You want to show that? Actually, you could show it and kind of mention what this project is. I see you got it up here. Maybe go down to, yeah, there it is. This is it. Welcome to eHack. Go to eHack.com. It's literally something I threw together in like an hour today. But what we're going to do, it's basically just a text-based website of news and my opinion and facts and data separated via emoji. Green checkmark data. Little, face there is opinion. So if you want to see a lot of news updates or whatever, go to eHack.com. I'm going to keep it up and running as long as I can, totally for free. Quite frankly, because I do this stuff anyway in my notes. So I'm like, oh, why am I just like publishing this somewhere? And I think it's really good value for the community. So far, I've only announced it to people in the Discord, so this is the first kind of public mention I'm making of it. I just kind of started it today. But eHack.com, it's literally just an easy way to get unbiased facts and data on what's going on. So thanks for putting that up there, Mikey. But yeah, we don't even need AI. You know, I was thinking, I'm like, oh, maybe you could like use AI. It's just not close, man. It's just not close. You're like, AI, give me a summary of something. And it misses all the context or nuance. I'm like, come on, man, we're not there. This morning, and I'm just ranting here. This morning, somebody in Discord, they're like, Kevin, I have the opportunity to invest in OpenAI. And I'm like, okay, so some insider is trying to dump on you at a $94 billion valuation. And then I'm like, today I went to ChatGPT, and then I'm like, okay, I want to try a prompt. So I throw a prompt in, and then I just copy and paste it into Grok and Bard. And so I'm like GPT-4, Elon's version, and Bard. It's like, what loyalty do I have to any of these platforms? I don't. Bard is totally free. Grok right now is, I think you have to pay the Twitter subscription to get it. And it's $20 a month for 4.0 on GPT. Just almost, Bard is getting to where I could just use that. But my point is, like, that's the risk with these software companies, is that you go too heavy on software AI. Good luck getting that to show up in the revenues. Whereas NVIDIA, where a lot of mainstream analysts are bagging on it, like, oh, it's rent too much, it's overvalued. It's like, they're actually printing money. I don't know. What do you think about all this?
I've definitely been hearing that NVIDIA is overpriced, but if there's any money to be made in the AI field, NVIDIA right now, it's, the AI is the gold rush and NVIDIA is the making shovels for everybody. So just keep making those shovels, invest in shovels.
I love that. Yeah, it's like who got rich in the gold rush? Not the people looking for the gold. It was the people selling the trips, the stays, the Airbnbs of the 1800s, the shovels, the pans. You ever been gold panning?
Oh yeah.
Really? You've tried it?
We had to do it as a field trip when I was younger.
I'm sorry. You had to go gold panning.
We had to go gold panning.
That sounds awesome, man. That's
you needed
cool.
to be a Northern Californian.
Really?
Well, no, but like everyone does it on a field trip. Yeah.
We tried that in the Everglades in Florida, panning for gold. It didn't work.
I didn't know Florida had gold.
It doesn't. Anyway, all right. What do we got, Mikey?
All right, we've got this crazy Tesla recall. As Omar put it on X, Tesla forced to recall more than 2 million vehicles after Julia Roberts narrowly avoids horrific 1,000 car pileup. I thought that was a great take. But yeah, I have the.
It's actually a good one.
I have the Tesla website here up on my screen. This is their statement issuing a recall, and let's go over the details of why there's a recall exactly. So specifically, this has to do with autopilot. Not full self-driving, but autopilot specifically. Mm-hmm. And apparently the issue is that it was too easy to fool the system.
Too easy? Well, yeah. Okay, so I'll give you an example of how you can fool it. Christian, can you throw it on me really quick? Sorry. So here's how you can fool it, how simply you can fool it. So the car wants you to look at the road. So let's say you, the camera, are the road. I've noticed that if I start looking at the console and I start putting like music, I go to type music, I get the alert pretty quickly. It's gotten very good at finding like, okay, your eyes are wandering off. I'll tell you what it absolutely sucks at. Secret, don't tell anyone. Okay. You get one of those suction cup mounts for your phone. And then you put the suction cup like not in front of your vision, but like just like slightly to the side, just to where like obviously you could see around it. And then like you could kind of be sitting there looking at your phone the whole time, and it has absolutely no idea. Not that I encourage that or would do that. It's possible that I might do that, but not that I encourage it or condone that. The other thing that's worth considering is. What was it? Where was it? Oh, I'm probably not going to do that software update. Let's just say I got my latest software update like 3 days ago before this recall. They also recalled the iPhone and every iPad and every computer.
Yeah.
They just did that. Like yesterday, there was a security update. Didn't I? Like this morning? Yeah, this morning we were talking about that in the office. I'm like, guys, everybody, get your recall done on your Apple devices. 'Cause, we got to stay up on all the software updates for compliance purposes. So, but anyway. That will. I don't think I want to update my Tesla for a while now.
Yeah. So for now, the full self-driving. So if you have the FSD beta enabled, nothing changes. This is for if you actually disable FSD beta and switch it just to the regular like basic autopilot.
Yeah.
That one, the camera never really looked at you.
Oh, now it will.
I'm guessing. So,
so are you sure they're not changing anything for FSD?
There's no mention of FSD anywhere on this.
Oh, that's really interesting. Okay, can you send me the link to that? That's really cool. Yeah, maybe like Twitter or whatever's convenient for. That's very interesting. And then what we'll do is after this, I'll put that little article on eHack. So check out eHack.com because why not? I honestly, to me, I just look at it as like I'm kind of excited about it. Totally for free, or totally free service. I never expect to charge for it. Mostly because, you know what kind of motivated me to do it.
What?
Is Tucker Carlson coming out with like the $8 to watch his video or $9 a month or whatever it was. I'm like, bro, soon every single creator in the world is just going to have a $9 a month subscription to hear from them. And it's like, no, enough of this. Like, and I'm so anti-monthly payments. Like, I get it. There's some things we have to pay for. We pay a lot of monthly payments, but those are tools that we really need. And you could argue, well, I really want that person's perspective. But boy, I mean, for normal people to get this information, it's becoming so damn expensive because you need like 20 subscription fees to get a fair and balanced perspective. And do you want to pick? Do you like, if let's say you had $20 a month to spend on subscriptions, well, you blow that on like the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal, but then you're pigeonholed into that one perspective. Maybe you add one creator, but then you're pigeonholed into that one perspective. So free.
Tucker's actually on Rumble now.
Oh, is he?
I think as
Why?
of today, like I just read about it today.
Is
McKay
he
sent me a link.
not going on Twitter as well, or is he just
Probably
adding?
both. I'm
Rumble?
guessing he's just adding.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Very interesting.
I don't really use Rumble.
No, I don't either, but I guess a lot of people do. I don't know. There's been so much social media dilution of like, I don't know what platform to use anymore. So, yeah, I mean, he still posted his episode 50. That's crazy. He's already on episode 51.
Wow, is this daily?
No, he probably does like 2 or 3 a week podcasts, interviews, or whatever. It's becoming so obvious that the U.S. government has made contact. Oh, my.
Aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah, aliens.
Bro, like the one time I bring up Tucker Carlson here, he's right back on aliens. Literally. It's been so obvious the U.S. government has made contact with non-human beings. So why are they lying to us? We asked UFO whistleblower about it. Some Dave Grushka. I mean, okay, maybe he's got an interesting perspective. Maybe I shouldn't discredit it. I just remember when Tucker launched his show, he started talking about aliens are real. And everybody's kind of like, no, this is not the way to start your own show. And now we're like full circle to that. It's kind of interesting.
What's a scarier thought to you? Us being alone in the universe or us not being alone?
Wow. Yeah, that's a really good question. I don't even know how to answer that. I would hope that there is some other form of life. Intelligent life is probably substantially less likely. I mean, mostly because think about the lottery, first of all, of life happening here on Earth, but then how many multicellular organisms exist on Earth that are just dumb?
I mean, all of them.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's like none of them have evolved to be smart or like intelligent, right? Like humans. None of them.
And even still, humans have only existed like in the
tens of thousands or whatever. What is it? Neanderthals were a couple 100,000
You could say 100,000 years for humans. That's fine,
modern
but
humans.
it's planet's billions of years old,
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
or 6,000 years old, depending on who you ask. Anyway, FSD. I've actually played around with it a little bit, and yeah, if you look down, if you're even just looking out your window to the side, it's going to be like beep beep, pay attention. But if you hold your phone directly in front of your face, it works.
Yeah.
But I mean, don't do that. But in theory, you could.
Yeah.
So what I have on my screen here, this is the 4 things that they are doing to fix this issue with autopilot, depending on vehicle hardware, additional control, blah, blah, blah. Increasing the prominence of visual alerts on the user interface.
Great.
Simplifying engagement and disengagement of auto steer. So maybe it's going to be the one pull to engage and disengage instead of the 2.
Simplifying okay, all right, fine.
That's 2. Number 3 is additional checks upon engaging auto steer and while using the feature outside controlled access highways and when approaching traffic controls. So I'm guessing it's going to start spying on you just like FSD does.
Yeah, it must be because all of that sounds like it's basically what autopilot does right now.
FSD.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
And the last one is eventual suspension from auto steer if the driver repeatedly fails to demonstrate continuous and sustained driving responsibility while the feature is engaged.
You know, theoretically, you should never get the strikes for FSD. You've gotten?
I've gotten one.
A strike.
I've gotten 1 strike.
Did you get the 2-week suspension?
No.
Okay. Like, I think I've gotten 1 strike, and I've never gotten the 2-week suspension because you need to get 5 strikes in a row within like a 2-week period or whatever, right? Or is it between software updates? Whatever it is. What I find so interesting is in drives now, if I get the alert that's like, pay attention, more than 3 times, I just pay attention.
Yeah.
Or the next time I'm at like a red light, I just hit it, park, and drive again, and it resets it. So really, it's like, you know, once you get close to the edge, just don't complete. You know, don't go all the way.
Just keep edging. So yeah, recall is a really loose term here. I'm going to show you the CNBC response to this. But you know, when you get a car recalled, I used to work for a Toyota dealership. When you get your Toyota recalled or any car, that's a day wasted at the dealership. You got to drive to the nearest dealership, and then it's a day wasted. When a Tesla gets recalled, you got to drive to your nearest Wi-Fi connection.
Yeah. And like, what happens if you don't update it? Nothing. Like, I bet most people, honestly, who have Teslas have software updates outstanding and they're not actually connecting it to Wi-Fi. Although lately, they've had a little notice that pops up. Please connect to Wi-Fi.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've started doing that.
This is the 2nd recall I've gotten on my car.
I'm sorry.
The first one was in certain situations, if you do a certain step, I don't know, press A, B, B, up, down, left, right, whatever it is. If you do a certain combination of steps, the next time you leave, if you haven't buckled your seatbelt, there's a chance the seatbelt chime won't turn on.
Interesting.
Which
Okay,
I get. That's a
interesting
safety
bug.
thing. NHTSA gets upset, but it's like at the end of the day, nothing changes.
None of this major.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Interesting.
here's
Okay.
CNBC's take.
All right, let's hear it.
Recall 2 million vehicles. It's an awful lot.
Oh my
Obviously.
God.
The stock is down near 3%. You own it, so what's your read on it?
So when the Apple 15 came out and it started overheating, did we go out and say that Apple was doing a recall of the Apple 15? No. They did a software update. Yet everyone's like freaking out because Tesla is going to recall, I'm putting in quotes, 2 million cars. When in reality, they've already done or are about to do a software update. And so I think this is a great example of what car company in the history of the world has ever had to do something to 2 million cars and they can do a simple software update. And so I think obviously people get hyped up about Elon, but I think this is a really good example about what a sophisticated technology company is, that not one car is going into the dealer. This is all done over the internet. And so
It is a lot of vehicles.
Who cares?
Right.
I feel like you're being a little dismissive of the issue itself, which is not exactly the first time that we are discussing the autonomous driving with
Wait, okay, like what the hell?
Yeah, and so it gets into like, it's the autonomous driving safety, but nothing's changing about autopilot. It's about you, the person that,
Yeah, it just alerts to you. Like the autopilot's fine. I wonder if he's got like the producer in his ear that's like, call her out. We need you to relate to the boomers who are sending this piece to the news headline about the Tesla, because that's what they do. It's the people who hate. This is no offense to boomers. It's the Tesla haters. The ones who hate Tesla, they will copy the link of those articles and they'll text their son and daughter-in-laws. I told you not to put your children in this car. Look, they're recalling everyone in North America. And it's just like, did you read it? No, of course not. It's just a pisser. And it's actually sad. That's sad. I've watched other clips of him. Usually it seems like he's relatively reasonable. That makes him look stupid. Sorry. Makes that response, calling her dismissive for speaking the literal truth is gaslighting her. It's gaslighting that she just gave you a complete detailed answer.
One of the responses here on X is they do a lot of smack about Tesla a lot lately, but this is the first time I've heard of it for the iPhone, and I own one. So it's it's blown out of proportion. You get recalls. I have a 2003 Corolla. I still have it. I get recall notices on that every few years. That doesn't make national headlines.
No, it's stupid.
Anyway, that's that. I do have some more FUD. We're gonna go over some Tesla FUD today.
Okay.
So now we're gonna get into the Cybertruck. And let me open up a couple links and have these
CT.
ready.
I saw also Uber, while you get that ready, they're doing the partnership now for their drivers, where if you buy a Tesla in this month, so like over the next 2 weeks, and you're a diamond driver, you'll get $3,000 after you complete your 100th drive, which is really interesting because if you think about it, that means if you bought a Tesla Model 3, you could basically get the car. How much is like a new Model 3 going to cost you right now? 36, 35? Let's pull that number up. And then what we'll do is we want to take off the $7,500 because if you're driving Uber, potentially there's a chance you're also going to be qualifying for this credit. So we got to custom order a Model 3, which apparently you could lease now for $350 or whatever. What? Okay, that's with savings. Okay, $39,000. Oh, okay. Did they raise the price? I don't remember it being that high. $38,990 minus $7,500 federal tax credit minus potentially the certain states like Colorado. I think gives you like $7,500.
That's crazy.
So certain states. So you go $7,500 Colorado. Let's call it. Just to be really extreme here. Obviously doing this on purpose. Just to see the most you could potentially get. Then you get $3,000 off with your Uber credits. Now this is going to look really interesting because now we're taking $18,000 off the cost of the car. You're at $21,000. Wow. $21,000. You just have to be in one of those states where you get the nice state tax credit as well. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, you can get a fully spec Nissan Versa for that price, which is the really tiny subcompact.
Yikes. That's a good comparison.
Yeah, there's not many cars you can buy new at that price these days.
Wow. Oh, very interesting. Okay, all right. What else we got?
Okay, so Cybertruck, apparently, this is breaking, still developing story, is dangerous for pedestrians.
Oh no.
Let me
Okay, is
show
this
you
because of the corners or whatever, the edges or
And
what?
they put emphasis on the weight on this one. This is NBC News. I have it on the screen. They say, as vehicles get bigger and heavier, they also get deadlier. Tesla's new Cybertruck, a 6,800-pound electric car, would be lethal to pedestrians and occupants of lighter vehicles in the case of an accident, per experts.
I mean, like, so is any like UPS truck, Sprinter van, Toyota Sienna, the Model X. Like at this point, are they just like reaching for crap?
Yeah, I saw a response on X that said, NBC bombshell, if you get hit by a truck, you could die. Developing.
I love that reply. Yeah.
Let's actually scroll through some of these replies. All right. Per Chevy website, the 2024 Chevy Silverado is 6,200 to 7,500 pounds. We at the media don't like Elon Musk, so we need to find a way to attack him at all times. Breaking news, people die when hit by a truck. Let's do a couple more. Journalists discover momentum. Yeah, it's
Newton's law, object in motion may kill.
and you know what they don't actually mention is, I opened this up. Here's some of the heaviest trucks that you could buy right now. And let me scroll to like the top few.
Top few at the bottom.
The top few at the bottom, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a guitar. The top of the guitar is actually called the bottom of the guitar.
Oh my gosh. I tried learning the electric guitar for a while. I gave up.
I've been playing for like 15 years, so I'm bound to get good eventually.
Good for you, dude.
Ford F-250, 6,400 pounds. Nissan Titan, 6,500 pounds. Chevy Suburban, this is the soccer mom SUV, almost 6,600 pounds.
It's a nice car.
I know it is. We've gotten a couple, we've driven a couple around.
Yeah.
6,700 for the F-350. Nissan 6,700. GMC Sierra 3,500 HD crew cab is 6,700 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, this is so normal for the You know, just on the Suburban, which is interesting. If you go rent a car at the airports, like when we go fly around and we rent the cars, they just default to those expensive Suburbans, and they charge you. It's usually like $250 per the day, and then like $100 or $150 white glove delivery fee, and then all these other taxes and BS. It's like $500 for a few hours for the car, and I'm like, this is a ripoff. So we finally figured out we can get like $59 to $74 rentals if we just ask for like the beater sedan. And plenty of them around. Sometimes they'll even give us a free one. So it's great for HouseHack. But I'm just looking at like that Suburban. They make money on those because people want that big luxurious feeling, all blacked out with the black leather, you know.
And they are nice, but yeah, I agree.
They're nice. It's just
We
not
don't
worth
need
it.
that. Yeah,
No, it's stupid.
The thing that's not on this article is another EV, which is the Hummer EV, which weighs over 9,000 pounds.
9,000. So you kill 50% more people.
Absolutely. The thing is, none of these cars, as far as I'm aware, have nearly the same safety features as Tesla. Like you turn on full self-driving and it sees a pedestrian walking funny on the sidewalk, it's going to hard brake because that guy might jump in front of the street. So it's it's just ridiculous.
The FUD is like, there was one FUDster I saw. He was complaining because Tesla did this Cybertruck video where they did the Cybertruck crash test, and they kind of like clickbaited you, where it was like an April Fool's joke or whatever, where basically, you know, here's the wall and the car's gonna crash, and then it changes angles and changes angles, and it just keeps changing angles, and it never hits. It's like the bow guy. Yeah, have you seen that one?
No, I haven't seen that one.
It starts with maybe just YouTube really quick. YouTube, and then put in never ending, and then bow space balloon. And then it's where is it? Never ending. Maybe put arrow. If we can't find it anyway. So this guy, and then put loop at the end, maybe.
Yeah, that'll probably
do it. Maybe never ending is not where. Get rid of never ending. There we go. Let's see. Come on. I can't believe we can't find it. Anyway, yeah. So it's just basically this meme on the internet where this guy takes out a compound bow.
Is it this one?
Is it that? Yeah. That guy. Yeah. Show that if you can. Just mute it if you don't mind, so we don't get demoned on it.
A good point.
There we go. Okay, so basically, like, go to the beginning again. It shows him lifting it, so it's implying he's about to shoot, you know, what, a row of like 50 balloons or whatever it was. But it just keeps cutting the angle over and over and over again. And the joke of it is basically like, how long are people going to keep watching before he actually lets go? Because everybody wants to see him let go. It was the same thing. They did a Cybertruck edit of this. And so there was a person going, The test was so bad, they won't even show it to you. And people respond, they're like, it's a joke, dude. Oh, that's great. Anyway.
Wait, hold on. I want to see him hit the balloon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's the Cybertruck FUD. There is actually some bad news for Tesla, though, and that has to do with the EV tax credits. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah. We're ending in Jan. So what's the full story on that?
Yeah. So this applies to the Model 3, not the performance, but the rear-wheel drive and the long-range versions of it. They're going to lose. So originally, Tesla was thinking they were going to lose half of the tax credits, and it was going to be $3,750. And that was on their website
For the Model 3.
The 3, yeah. The two lower tiers of the Model 3. Okay. And so when you went to configure, it would say like expected $3,750, yeah, January next year. They're actually going to be losing the entire $7,500 EV tax credit. And I'll show you why.
First of all, ironically, could actually be great because it'll motivate the people who were going to wait until Q1 to get the tax credit during tax time to buy now. And then if they buy now, it pumps Q4 crap. Like it's the perfect expiring coupon code. Speaking of which, we got one of those tomorrow at MeetKevin.com. The price is going up for the gold course, so go to MeetKevin.com, check out the gold course. Even more content based on your feedback, love y'all, is coming out at the end of the month, so make sure to be there for that. But yeah, and get in before tomorrow. Email us at staff@meetkevin.com if you have questions. But so not only is it going to motivate the sales of Model 3s who are going to buy in Q1 to buy now, which is fantastic. That's going to help a bad Q4. But after that happens, I would not be surprised to see in Q1 the Biden admin gets so much flack that they re-allow the Model 3.
Yeah, because what really irks me about this is, and I'll show you exactly why they don't qualify anymore, but the fact is you can get a Chrysler Pacifica minivan hybrid plug-in, and you get the full $7,500 off, and that still has an internal combustion engine. You can get an off-roading Jeep 4x4. That's gonna, well, it's not the full 75, but you get $3,750 off of that. So these hybrids are still getting it, but the most American car, fully EV, does not qualify. That kind of rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, it must be some kind of interpretation on either where the parts are coming from, or being built in China or something. So I wonder if there's a way to solve that. Either Tesla solves it, or there's a reinterpretation. I'd be curious to see. Do you see why?
Yeah, I can show. I can go over the
Chinese
updated guidance here. So the mineral requirements. As far as coming from the U.S. versus foreign, it's been 40%, and that goes up to 50% required from the U.S. by 2024, and it's going to go up to 60% in 25, then 70%, 80%. It keeps scaling up. I think the real one that got Tesla in trouble is the 50% battery component requirement, where right now more than 50% of the battery has to be made in the U.S. using U.S. parts, U.S. everything. And it moves up to 60% in 2024. And so that's, I think, the one that Tesla got caught up in. And then also beginning in 2025, so not this coming year, but the year after that, any vehicle with battery minerals or components from any foreign entity aren't going to qualify at all. But the real issue here, I'm pretty sure it has to do with the 2170 cells in Giga Nevada.
Oh,
where I don't think
the components inside of them.
Yeah, I don't think Panasonic was able to scale up at the rate that Tesla was hoping, and I think Tesla's backup was like, oh, we're going to be making 4680 cells like through the roof in Giga Texas by then.
Yeah,
but that hasn't happened yet either.
Been too slow. Yeah.
So I think they just got a little bit too slow, and that wave kind of caught up to them.
Yeah, because Tesla is making a lot of their lithium iron phosphate batteries in China. They're cheap to make. CATL makes a crap load of them. And I think CATL, didn't they announce that they were going to do a plant? Was that with the Ford partnership? Plant America. CATL was going to do a plant. Oh, let's see here. Oh, okay. Well, maybe even, Ford. There it is. It was Ford and potentially a Tesla partnership. Interesting. So the Ford one, Ford pauses construction on battery plant that would use CATL tech. So that's canned. And then we still have the Tesla one, though. Tesla wants to pursue a similar deal as Ford with CATL to construct a plant wholly owned here in the United States. But I wonder if because of the economy and Elon's restraint on CapEx during the rougher time, which he alluded to, well, actually just clearly stated in the last earnings call, would actually limit that sort of battery development, slowing down that battery development, which again is why I think they've got to delay this. So I personally think they'll end up delaying that, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think I'm almost positive the lithium in China is actually sourced from Australia. Australia mines actually over 50% of the world's lithium
Wow.
from Australia. Yeah,
Very interesting.
But this is just more reason to do lithium mining here. Mine Nevada. That's the
There it
point of
is.
the state.
To mine
it.
hack.
Oh,
Ooh. That's funny.
that's not a bad idea. Okay. Well, that's the Tesla FUD that I have for you, but I do have some good Tesla news too.
I want to hear the. What's the good news? Well, we got the Uber credit, and then we've got stock. Actually, tried going green today. I think we did end a green a little bit, which was interesting because it was down like 3%. I mean, as you saw during all that recall FUD or whatever, but everything rallied going into the close. I mean, Enphase was up like 7%. You know, it's kind of crazy. 7.8%. It was like straight up after JPOW. So okay, I'm surprised he didn't stay more neutral. By the way, I thought he was going to be a lot more neutral. He pretty much went dovish.
You went dovish, yeah.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yep.
What I have to talk about is Optimus.
Oh, let's go Optimus.
Let's watch this.
Okay. Bumblebee. It's pretty cool. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I can turn off the audio so we don't get copyright. I watched this with the team last night, and we all were kind of like, oh, this is CGI. No CGI and nothing sped up.
Yeah, they got a lot of criticism for the, cuts and speed ups that they've done in other videos. So good for them, and they're showing it with the Cybertruck to sort of date it as being recent, basically.
And I think just to trigger people even more who are anti-Tesla.
Yeah.
Weight reduction.
Without sacrifice. Good. That'll help actually the batteries. Improve balance. Full body control. Wow.
For me, the most impressive part was like the arms and especially the hands. Like that's
wow.
It's like uncanny. It's so real.
Now, do you? I hate to say, but I feel like somebody is
test.
outside with sensors on, doing those movements, and it's just mimicking somebody's movements. They're not showing that, and so we don't know that, right? That basically it's being controlled by a human, and the robot has to copy it. So it's really what it is. It's a video that's like an actuator test. It's like, well, look at how smoothly it can move its hands. See those hand motions?
Oh, yeah.
They seem very human. Play that section again if you don't mind. Maybe like 15
And it does say at the
seconds,
top here, faster, 11, what is it, degrees of freedom, brand new hands.
But nowhere does it suggest that this is not a human who's doing that right now.
That's true.
See that right there? Like the look around and everything, those are going to be sensors. Somebody's wired up with sensors on each fingertip and everything. It's very like virtual reality-esque. The point of this video is to demonstrate the actuators and the technology of, but look how smooth it can be. I think when you saw it walking down by the Cybertrucks, that was the cautious like AI vision of it practicing walking. It's like, it's Luigi walking through Luigi's mansion. But yeah, the looking around of that, I would bet money to the tune of like 99% certainty that 100x to 1 that somebody's wearing a.
Wow.
Yeah. But of course, they're not going to show that.
No,
It
they
discredits it. And I'm not here to try to poop on it. I'm just saying, like,
It's totally
not
within
at
the
that
realm
level,
of possibility, and I understand that what they're advertising here really is the actuators, everything that Tesla builds in-house themselves and all that.
Yeah.
I actually hadn't even considered the thought that somebody's controlling it.
Yeah. It's off camera. You wouldn't because they.
How
didn't
would
show
you
it
do
on
the egg test if you're controlling it remotely? That was a little bit harder, right? Unless you're holding a real egg while you're doing it too.
Yeah, that's possible. And here the thing here is it's much more mechanical. See when it's so mechanical when it's walking, and here it is possible that this is a free control. That maybe it's been trained to do this, or that this is the AI learning. Because look at how much less smooth that is relative to the hand motions.
Yeah, the walking is not as up there as the arms and especially the hands. I agree with that.
Yep.
But some of the reactions we're getting on X, Omar said Tesla is a multi-trillion-dollar robotics company in the making, and the response is Tesla is a potential new CGI blockbuster movie studio in the making, which I love because I think the best compliment you can give is to just straight up think that it's fake because it can't possibly be that
so
good.
Yep. That's true. Yep, that is true. So, but yeah, eventually that'll come together. Again, so egg, my take is, if I had to guess, egg and walking was the robot itself. That smoothness of the hands and everything was a human-controlled actuator test. I will say it was very nice. It was good.
It's very nice.
Yeah, I even think the squatting was probably a human.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I think so.
I don't think on the squatting. Maybe.
But eventually, that one is more debatable because that's what you want it to do for unloading boxes from containers. You know, you get a container, semi-truck pull up with a container on the back, unload that sucker. That's not only a lot of labor that you can save, it's also a lot of workers' comp that you could save. Because that's expensive. Because people hurt their backs, they get injured all the time, hernias, whatever, all the time in that kind of labor. So put a robot, no workers' comp.
Don't have to worry about OSHA.
Yeah, theoretically, you're actually right. Operation Safety Hazard Administration, or whatever it is what it stands for. But yeah, I guess not. I mean, like, unless the robots form a union and demand.
Yeah, the Swedish ones. Yeah.
The Swedish robots. I refuse to unload container.
I still think that when Elon was talking to Sandy Monroe about the factory for the Model 2 or whatever you want to call it, the $25,000 Tesla,
yeah.
I think he was alluding to Optimus when he was talking about how it's going to be the production and development of this car that's really going to be the bread and butter.
Yeah, that just means we're even further away.
Let's move on. You turned my happy story into more FUD. We were talking the other day about X.com and how much they're making off ad revenue.
Yes, we forgot their debt.
We forgot their debt. It was a lot of debt. They bought Twitter with a lot of debt.
Yeah.
But also Bloomberg confirmed how much they do make.
Oh?
Per quarter? 600 mil.
Well, okay, yeah.
In ad revenue.
That's the ad rev, right. And then we got to pull the debt off that. Yeah. So, yeah, if we get 600, well, I want to know how much debt they got. It was the Elon Musk.
It was big. It was in the
Twitter
billions.
acquisition debt. Wasn't it 30? Was it 30? Twitter's existing debt was 5.3 billion, and the new debt, agreed to lend Twitter 13 billion. It might have been 13 then. Okay, so if you do. Wow, so that's why Elon had to sell like 20-something of Tesla. Oh, very interesting. Bridge, yeah, it looks like it was about $13 billion. And then Elon sold in the high 20s plus some cash that he had. Interesting. So 13 bill, well, how much is that in terms of debt? Let's say the rate last year would have probably been, what, 5%?
Sure. It said they also had 31 billion equity at the time.
At the purchase price. But the equity evaporated by at least 50%. Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, because the valuation's now down to like 20.
It's more realistic.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was overvalued when he bought it, and that's why he wanted to back out. But 13 bill at 5%, 650 mil. So it's literally a quarter.
My God.
One entire quarter gone just to debt. That's a lot. Oops.
Rough.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just wanted to mention that on X before we really get into the Elon story, which is his new university idea.
Oh, okay. Let's hear that.
I don't know if you know this. Elon kind of already had a school type thing called Ad Astra, which I think means to the stars.
Okay.
And it was for his kids, basically like a private school that he started for his kids. And if I'm not mistaken, the children of SpaceX employees as well. But so I think that's what gave him inspiration.
Is this what he's trying to build off of, like, in Austin? He's been buying like this land to create like this whole like commune or whatever people have been saying. And you've had like journalists go there to talk about the commune that's being built. And really it's just like housing for Tesla employees, but then like a school they want to build there too.
You're probably right because this is in Austin.
Oh, okay.
He wants this in Austin.
Yeah.
So it's going to be called the Foundation.
Yeah.
It's right now it's starting as a primary and secondary school, but eventually
daycare.
Basically, it's yeah. Well, it's like homeschool daycare.
Yeah.
Eventually, he's going to want to expand it into a university level offering, and it's STEM focused.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good. Well, it should be. I mean, quite frankly, all of the schools should be. Where's the ESG? Oh,
he spent $100 million of his own money to kind of fund it.
Okay,
And
good for
he's last year he gave $2.2 billion in stock to this project as well.
Okay.
So that's a much
Okay.
bigger number.
Wow, that's great.
He says the university is going to employ experienced faculty and feature traditional curriculum alongside hands-on learning experiences, including simulations, case studies, fabrication, design projects, labs, all that stuff. And all this information is because it was all formalized in an application for tax-exempt status with the IRS in October of last year, and it was approved by March of this year.
See, I was gonna say it. He's doing it through a nonprofit.
Yeah,
So that $2 billion in stock.
it's a write-off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still, though, because
still impressive.
people will say, like, yeah, but that's just a write-off. That's why rich people... At the end of the day, though,
It's still giving.
you're still giving.
Like
It's-
50% is still coming out of your net worth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, it's cheaper for you to give, but it's still costing you to give.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like when people go, oh, well, I bought this because it was this much off, so I'm saving money. It's like, but you spent more money than you would have if you didn't buy the thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Kind of
yeah.
that same
It's the coupon
logic.
psychology.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mentioned he had Ad Astra before, and his new STEM school is anticipating 50 students of an initial class, and he says he's going to have really good teachers.
Wow.
Hopefully he pays them.
Well, good. I mean, hey, if he can fix the school system, I'm all in. School system's a disaster. Yeah. I looked up this school that I wanted to go to, an elementary school, but we were dead broke, and my mom was trying to apply for financial aid, and we were living in this like little crappy apartment, and had like a '90s Ford Escort that was like water damaged. It was so nasty. Anyway, it was called Pinecrest, and we drove there. It was like 2 hours away from where we lived, and she's like, "I'll drive you every day just to get you in that school." Like, she's so nice. I looked up the tuition right now. The tuition for preschool is $30,000 a year.
Wow.
And then like
Wow.
K through 12 was I think it was like 40 or 45,000 per year per
That's
kid.
insane.
Yeah. Like I thought, private schools, okay, it's gonna be like what, $1,000 a month or something like that for schooling. So like 10 a year. No, this is like 4 a month. This is like a mortgage. If I put 7 children through Pinecrest, I'll be paying more in school than I'm paying on a plane.
Wow.
It's crazy. Yeah.
I want to compare it to like a UC.
Oh yeah, that's a good comparison. It's like a UC, which should be like 40K, eh? 30 to 40.
34,000.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's more than a UC.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
No, and I went to a UC.
I wanted to go to Berkeley.
Ooh, I got into Berkeley and then I didn't go.
Oh, nice. I went to school with somebody who got a full ride scholarship to Berkeley and started going. Full ride to Berkeley. So I went to a super nerdy school. We were really good at tests and really bad at sports. But he got a full ride to Berkeley. He started going for a little bit, and then he dropped out to pursue his passion. He loved climbing rocks.
No.
His name's Alex Honnold, and he's one of the most famous people in this space right now.
Really, in rock climbing?
Uh-huh.
Oh, so he killed
does
it.
He does free solo climbing, so he's broken
Oh, okay.
records for like
Well, good for him.
Yosemite
But
and other places.
That's a lottery, man.
Yeah.
That's a lottery. I'm gonna quit to because like you could do both theoretically.
He just really wanted to climb rocks.
Well, good for him.
I've put my hand in
Okay.
his just to compare size, and like my fingertips end where his began. Wow. He's got huge
Okay,
hands.
well, I mean, you know what? Good for him. He made it. That's a lottery, but you know what? He made it. So good for him.
There's that one 60 Minutes documentary.
Full ride, dude.
Full ride to Berkeley.
Full ride to Berkeley. Ah, wow.
What was that movie? Free Solo. The movie Free Solo is about him. Came out
It's
5
about
years
it.
ago.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
he
that's the
definitely
dude.
won the lottery.
Yeah.
Good for him.
So
Okay.
anyway, I want to show you something in the space of AI because we were talking about Optimus.
Ooh.
This is either the coolest thing that I've ever seen or the most terrifying, and I haven't made up my mind yet.
All right, let's see it. Oh, here it comes.
Hello, and welcome to Channel One, a new way of consuming, reporting, and thinking about the news powered by artificial intelligence. Today, you'll witness AI-generated stories and headlines,
Huh.
captivating visuals, and data-driven insights. From global news to finance to entertainment,
This is scary.
we'll show you how technology enables us to bring you a global perspective 24/7, right from the heart of our AI-native newsroom. All presented by our team of AI-generated reporters.
Maybe you hear the words artificial intelligence and you're immediately skeptical or concerned about technology gone crazy. But everything you'll see on Channel 1 relies on trusted sources and fact-checking and uses AI to give you news the way you want it, personalized, localized, and distilled. Through it all, our mission is to provide you with accurate, unbiased, and trustworthy news. Technology may be the tool, but
This is
journalism's
scary.
core values of integrity and accountability are at the heart of everything we do.
Today we're going to show off some of the technology we're using to build Channel 1. We'll show you how AI powers and empowers our newsroom to deliver journalism that's fast, trustworthy, and accurate. Let's start with our reporters. You can hear us and see our lips moving, but no one was recorded saying what we're all saying. I'm powered by sophisticated systems behind the scenes.
11 labs.
And I can speak in any language.
$5 a month.
Paradigma, αυτή τη στιγμή μιλάω στα ελληνικά.
Wow.
O kung pinapanood mo ako mula sa Maynila.
So this is a long video. I won't show you the whole thing. But supposedly the way it's working is they're putting together stories, they're throwing in B-roll that's relevant to the story, and then they're getting these little friendly faces to talk to you about it in whatever local language that, wherever, depending on where you live. And then their team is going to go through and fact check just to make sure that it's somewhat accurate.
Is this like an actual thing?
I
Or is
looked
it a
it
joke?
up. Channel 1 News AI. It's their thing. Personalized global news. They're pushing the AI thing. It crossed my mind that it was a joke, but I'm like, man, it's not April 1st. This is like something they should hold off till April to do.
Channel 1. I mean, it's gonna suck. We're nowhere near that yet.
I don't.
What's the website?
Channel1.ai.
Oh, .ai. Of course it is. I still do .com, man. I can't do all this other bull crap.
.gov turns out is easy to do than we thought.
Because really what you do is you take a person, you animate that, you put their voice in with 11 Lab. We can make their mouth and their face move. We know how to do all that. These are all just different apps and plugins. The B-roll that they showed is incredibly generic. So to actually get the AI to get the footage, to line up the footage and the story and the context and the distillation, you basically need a massive team of reporters to do it. Like real people to actually put it together. Yes, using some of those tools to get you the visuals that you want. But yeah, we're 10 years away from that.
Yeah, I feel like this video, if this is an authentic video, they spent a lot of time curating it and making it the way that it is.
100%. I would say it's 22 minutes long. They probably spent a month putting it together.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, at least.
But so I'm going to be watching this. But I've been thinking about your comment from the other week of like how now's the time everyone's trying to cash into the AI thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's you create a really nice marketing piece and then money please, money now, money me.
It's just like a scam. I hate it so much. Like if you have a really good product and you're not bullshitting and edit together, I'm all for it. I'm a big fan of what OpenAI, for example, can do within its limitations. But the vast majority of the stuff isn't practical. There are good little apps that can help you be a little bit more efficient in your daily basis, in your daily life that I use as well. But the vast majority of it is literally just profiteering and drives me nuts. That's one of the things that I love about like the things that we're doing. They're not like maybe like the AI play that's going to be the lottery ticket. But it's like HouseHack. Like I know how to do that. I know how to run that business, and I know how to scale it, and I know how to make it really successful. What we're doing on the broker-dealer side, what we're doing with the other projects we have going on, these are things that I'm just so confident in. Whereas with the AI, it's full lottery. It's full lottery. It's can you get enough suckers to pay for your garbage? And then what people do is they try to use that money then to actually make the real product. That's the goal.
Yep, that's the goal.
Yep.
Okay, let's move on to the next one then.
Yep.
You know whose birthday it is today?
T Swizzle? No, she's on the 13th though, isn't she?
What's today's date?
The 13th.
Yeah, I was gonna say Amy Lee from Evanescence because it's also her birthday, but you're right, it's Taylor Swift's birthday.
Oh, I was right. Okay,
Yeah, you're
right. Okay, I did not know that was coming up, but I looked down, I looked at 13. I go Taylor Swift 13. That's her Twitter handle.
I never knew that.
Oh yes, you see.
All right.
I'm telling you, Christian, I've loved her a very long time. So is Lauren.
Elon Musk's birthday is 69 days after 420.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So to celebrate,
do you know what my tail number is?
I do know what your tail number is.
Next.
Okay, we're gonna to celebrate Taylor Swift's birthday. We're gonna look at the economic impact that she's had. I feel like that's a good tie in here.
Okay.
So. Christian sent me this piece. So Christian, if there's anything that I'm skipping over that you think would be worth mentioning, let me know. but it covers some of like the stats, most streamed female artist on Apple Music history, most albums to sell 1 million copies in a week. But what I was really interested in personally was some of these metrics at the bottom.
Okay.
Well, first off, $3 million in Etsy sales of friendship bracelets.
Wow. 3 million in friendship bracelets. I mean, each of those has got to be friendship bracelets, probably $18. So just to do some quick math, divided by 18, that'd be 166,000. Wow. Etsy. And Etsy just laid off 11% of their workers because their sales are going down macro because she took off. She's on a break.
The store, yeah, the tour's over.
Okay, now we need, now you do the clickbait Twitter thing where it's like Etsy lays off 11% of staff in one photo and then next to it, Taylor Swift goes on break. There you go. See, that's actually why we made eHack.com, by the way. Totally free news thing I'm trialing right now. We're just kind of trialing it out. And scroll down a little bit. Yeah. Just go to eHack.com. Look at it there. Then you get your own feeling. You can kind of change you could use the little reader view and stuff to change the theme or whatever. But anyway, yeah, we did that because there literally can't be clickbait because you don't click on anything.
Yep.
The way I wanted it to function was that you don't click on anything. It's just vertical scrolling, but it's like data. Separated and then separate opinion. So that way clearly, like, oh, okay, that's data. Oh, okay, that's the opinion. Because most articles blend that together. So it's so simple. No clicking, so there can't be clickbait. And then separate data from opinion.
Yeah, I like it. I'll be following that. You posted a lot for today alone.
We're going to be posting a lot more. It's going to be great.
Okay. 370 million Swift's estimated earnings from concert tickets and merchandise sales. 151 Era Tour shows worldwide. The average length of an Eras Tour show is 3.5 hours, which is so impressive to be singing for that long.
It's pretty impressive.
2.3 million, or 2.3 is the magnitude of the Swift quake that a July Eras show created in Seattle. Okay, here's the economic impact. $4.1 billion. This is her expected Eras Tour earnings, totaling more than the yearly economic output of 42 different countries.
Oh.
So the taxes on that, right? Imagine that. $5.7 billion boost to the U.S. economy generated by fans spending an estimated $93 million per show.
Wow.
We have a $208 million bump in hotel room revenue produced by Eras Tour cities.
Wow.
So that's good for local business. I mean, like local taxes.
Well,
right?
think about all the restaurants, the Airbnbs, the whatever, and then the income goes to the people working there. Those people working there spend it on mostly local things, whether they're gas stations or delivery workers or whatever. Yeah, that's actually pretty incredible.
$55 million is the amount of bonuses gifted to Eras Tour sound technicians, caterers, dancers, and other staff. 3,300 would be the number of new jobs in California that could be funded by the revenue generated by the tour's 6-day stop in LA alone. Average amount spent by each attendee is $1,279.
Wow.
$396 of that was on tickets. $384 is on travel and lodging. $234 on outfits. It's not something I would have ever thought about.
Makes sense. I mean, it's like 90% girls.
Yeah.
And Kevin.
And Kevin. I was gonna like sneak that in. And Christian, who's in the background of the Eras Tour movie.
Hey man, I was there with him, man. Well, not in the one you were in the background of, but at least one of the trips. So
159 on merch, 106 on food and drink. $1,000 the average additional cost. That's the additional cost of Era resale tickets versus the resale pricing for some other performers on tour at the same time.
Yep. There it is. That's Taylor for you.
And then the movie. There's a little AMC mention in here too.
Yeah, let's see it.
So 100 million plus is what she and her team stand to make from this, assuming they get about 50% of the. I have it on the screen.
The
Let
movie.
me zoom in. Yeah.
Okay.
250 million was the global box office gross as of December 5th.
Wow.
And the domestic is 179 million.
Wow.
The first week, or the opening weekend, it made 93 million, which is the highest grossing domestic concert film of all time. It beat Justin Bieber's 2011.
And she's splitting that, right?
She's getting 50%. That's what I understand. She's getting 50%.
Oh.
So her share would still be over 100 million.
She didn't have to do anything extra.
Yep. She'd
Just
already
keep
done
doing
the shows.
shows.
Yeah. The highest single day ticket sales revenue for a film in the U.S. In its 103-year history of AMC theaters. Ticket sales revenue on the first day, pre-sales at AMC, 37 mil. And global pre-sales surpassed 100 million. There was also, funny enough, a 400% spike in jersey sales for Swift's new boo, Travis Kelce, after the signer attended a game.
Wow.
And a 63% week-over-week viewership increase of the Kansas City Chiefs among women.
But like before Taylor Swift, you'd be like, oh yeah, the Chiefs. Who?
Yeah.
But good for them. Like that whole team just became so much more valuable because of the T-Swizzle effect. Like you could have gotten a wedge deal if you bought that team knowing the insider information that Taylor was dating him, and then it becomes popular.
I don't think it's too late to get in. Hear me out, right? There's a potential that eventually there's going to be a breakup song about the Kansas City Chiefs. Free marketing.
Based on history, you're probably about 100% correct. but Mikey, this time is different.
Yeah, I've never heard that before.
Christian, is this time different?
Yeah.
You sounded so unsure. You got a bunch of likes.
Complicated.
What's that?
I mean, we'll have to see.
All right.
All right. So the last one is the Biden impeachment.
Real quick, did you read the story, Kevin?
The time story. Part of it. The tiara part.
Probably.
What's that?
The workout part is probably the.
Oh
most
no, I didn't get to that. Okay, I'll do that after this. Before I leave, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read the whole thing, all of it.
She prepared for like 6 months on the treadmill. She would do the 3.5 hours running and while singing all the songs.
Oh wow!
That was her training.
No way.
So training like an athlete for the Eras tour.
Oh yeah, Taylor Swift jokes she toured like a frat guy. This time she began training 6 months ahead of the first show. Every day I would run on the treadmill singing the entire list of songs out loud. Wow. Fast for fast songs and a jogger walk for slow songs. Good for her. Smart. I think treadmills are great. Anyway, all right, good.
All right.
What
So
else?
Biden impeachment.
Oh yeah, okay.
The impeachment inquiry has been authorized by House Republicans, and that's per a Reuters article. And actually, the full title, though, is Biden impeachment inquiry authorized by House Republicans despite lack of evidence.
It's going to end up being a waste of time. Like I think what people want to do is they want to investigate to find information, and that's fine. But like by the time it's going to matter, everybody's going to be focused on the election, and it's all going to be about who's it going to be, Trump or Biden. And I will say, and this is just trying to be as neutral as possible as you can be in this. The more stuff happens like today with the Federal Reserve and the inflation numbers that we got over the last 2 days, the more the economic tilt, which is probably one of the primary reasons people vote, leans in the favor of Biden.
Yeah.
You know, the more you get crap economy like what you had July to October, the more it leans in Trump's favor. It's that simple. And it's always the case. It's the economy, stupid.
How much weight would you put on like economic issues versus things like border crisis or things like that? 80% economy.
80% economy. Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah, because if people are feeling like crap because their business is doing poorly, they're, you know, they can't afford things or whatever, they blame the president. And if everything's going great and their business is booming, they don't want to mess it up.
Yeah.
You know, so 80% economic money. It's called pocketbook voting. The other issues I'm not saying are not unimportant.
Yeah, I was just wondering what percentage you think voters take into account.
Like, they won't say that. Mm-hmm. You know, there are going to be a lot of voters that are like, nah, immigration's my top issue, damn it. Bullshit. It's the economy. They won't say that, but that's the number one reason.
On this one, as you'd imagine, the House voted right along party lines, 221 to 212. And basically, they're trying to examine into whether or not Biden benefited from his son doing all these foreign deals.
Right. And Hunter's like, oh, Joe didn't financially support me. Joe can't even financially support a bike. Or physically hold a bike. Oh, physically hold a bike. Oh, darn, I messed it up. All right. Anyway.
The effort will almost certainly fail to remove Biden from office per Reuters. Even if the House votes to impeach the president, the Senate would then have to vote to convict him on charges by a 2/3 vote, which is pretty much impossible considering they hold a slight majority anyway.
Yeah, you can't even get 50% in the Senate.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a waste of time. But again, what they want is they want the PR of the investigation. And look, I'm all for, like, investigate stuff, whatever. Get it all out in the air. Like, I'm all for. Put it all out in the air. All for it. But you know, the same like open up the freaking lawsuits, the Trump court trials. I want to see it public. There should be public hearings.
Yeah. Okay. I know I said that was the last thing, but everyone wants you to see these Alex Honnold videos, so you want to see a couple seconds of this guy being crazy?
Yeah.
Look at this guy. No ropes, no chains, no nut. It's free solo. Like, it's his bare hands, and then he has a little baggie of chalk that he keeps on the side just for look
for
at this.
certain turns or whatever. Yeah. Oh well, yeah. Okay, that's pretty badass.
The camera crew uses ropes, right? They chain themselves up, and that's why he broke all of these records. Look at this. The reason he broke all of these records is because it takes so long to unclasp yourself, clasp onto the next little hook, like readjust everything. He just climbs.
Holy crap! Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because he's not anchoring below him.
Yeah.
To you know, so that way if you fall 10 feet as opposed to dead. Wow.
Sometimes he holds up his entire weight with just his pinky. Like, the dude's got more muscle on his fingers than I do in my entire arm.
This guy, I mean, this is pretty cool. I have to say, like, this is like pure like skill and talent. Like, good for him. Good for him. You know, he worked hard. He had a dream. Screw college. Go for it. I like initially when you said gave up the full ride scholarship, it's like, you know, it's easy right now to say, oh yeah, of course, give up the full ride scholarship. Of course. But, you know, 999 out of 1,000 times, that would be the stupid decision.
I agree with you.
But very impressive.
Yep.
Yeah, very impressive.
That's what I had for you.
All right. I think that's it. So with that said, check out eHack. eHack.com. Over the next hour, we'll have a bunch more updates over there. So go to eHack.com. Let me know what you think. You can chat in our Discord at MeetKevin.com/chat. And let me know what you think about it. There's a channel for it. Also, go to MeetKevin.com to check out the courses on building your wealth. And as usual, even though I'm a licensed financial advisor, licensed real estate broker, becoming a stockbroker, the video is neither personalized or financial advice for you, not tax, legal, or otherwise personalized advice tailored to you. The video will provide generalized perspective, information, and commentary. Any third-party content I show should not be deemed reasonably endorsed by me. This video shall never be deemed reasonably sufficient for the purposes of evaluating a security or investment decision. Any links or promoted products are either paid affiliations or products which we may benefit from. I also personally operate an actively managed ETF and hold long positions of various securities, potentially including those mentioned in this video. However, I have no relationship to any issuers, nor am I presently acting as a market maker.
Nice.